Good evening, students. Today we are continuing the class about the rulers of Mughal dynasty. Yes. So after that we have Aurangzeb. So tell me about the stories that you know about these kings, especially about Shah Jahan, Akbar, and Aurangzeb. I think so. You must have heard at least a few incidents or few aspects. Any one of you who can share?
Regarding Akbar, we heard so many stories about Akbar Birbal.
Yes, Akbar Birbal stories are they are actually witty. They have humor in it. They have sense of humor in it, and at the same time they have a lot of morals in it also. Morals, like they have lessons to teach you, right?
Yes,
Yes. So for children, usually they take up these Akbar Birbal stories where they enjoy, and at the same time they are learning how clever Birbal is. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Anything?
Shah Jahan, who built the Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal, yes. It's one of the
Wonder.
part of the seven wonders of the world. Yes. So this was not constructed in one day. It took several years. You need to know about the statistics of Taj Mahal because it's India's heritage. It's So you should always be learning about it, about more about it. Yes. So Shah Jahan built Taj Mahal in the memory of his wife Mumtaz. Right. Anything else that you know? Any contemporaries of Akbar, or contemporaries of Aurangzeb? Anybody else who can tell what they know? Edaina, like what you know about these rulers. So after the Mughal dynasty, any other points, dear children? Anything else?
Ma'am,
Hmm.
షాజహాన్ తాజ్ మహల్ కట్టాక కట్టిన వాళ్ళ చేతులందరివి నరికేశాడంట, అది నిజమేనా మేడం?
Yeah, it is a story. We do not know exactly because అంటే ఇంకొక తాజ్ మహల్ కట్టకూడదు వీళ్ళు అని. How cruel it is, right? అది నిజమై ఉంటే it was very cruel. అవునా కదా? రైట్. ఈ డెంట్ వాంట్ అంటే ఇంకెక్కడికైనా వెళ్ళి ఇంకో తాజ్ మహల్ లాంటిది కట్టకుండా అలా చేశారని దట్స్ ద స్టోరీ. బట్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ ట్రూ, ఇట్స్ సంథింగ్, ఇట్ మస్ట్ బి ట్రూ ఆల్సో ఐ షుడ్ సే, బికాస్ ద వే దోస్ కింగ్స్ ఆర్. See, ఇప్పుడు like after Akbar, Jahangir became the king. He used to kill. Now in this lesson, I will when I'm sharing you the notes, you will see that they are killing all the other brothers, or if there is anybody who is trying to conquer their throne, no, they are so much their lust for power. So they'll think that they are very much insecure. Maybe my younger brother or elder brother will take over. So with that kind of a thing, they used to kill the other brothers and brothers who were fighting for the throne. So that is very, very bad, isn't it? See, killing your own brothers, that's what history says. That's what the Mughal empire, the dynasty talks about. But whereas when you listen to the our scriptures like Ramayana, Mahabharata, you will see all the kings, brothers, and cousins fighting with each other, correct? But only in Ramayana you will see brothers giving sacrifices for the other brother. That's the only scripture, I should say, where whenever you see brothers, they will say Rama Lakshmana laga undandamma. Like they want those brothers to live like Rama and Lakshmana. Lakshmana went into the forest for Rama, for the elder brother, and how Rama has sacrificed. He went into 14 years of exile he has taken from the kingdom, only because his fatherhood he could live up to the vows given by his father. So all these stories, why should we do history? First of all, why should we learn history? It has great importance. Nowadays, students are not taking up history. History is not a, like, no, very, I should say, very interesting, or I should say, more and more people are not taking up history. Colleges also are not offering the courses, but history teaches us. Like today, how Pratyusha told, how the temple was constructed. A temple ఎలా కట్టారు ఇన్ని సంవత్సరాలు, వందల సంవత్సరాలైనా, it was like how it is still remaining, like, no, so I should say, with a lot of dignity and with lots of pride, those monuments are staying there, right? So we should appreciate. Even these, what we are talking about, Red Fort, all these are also, definitely they are there for past, I should say, past 400 years minimum. So these monuments are there with us for so many hundreds years. Nowadays we construct a house, for 50 years, 60 years itself, you will see that the buildings are collapsing, the dam is collapsing, something like that we hear. But those are there, those monuments constructed some hundreds of years ago, still they are there intact. Actually, in between, we didn't take care of them. They are precious, ancient monuments. Now, archaeology department has taken it up and is trying to save all those, monuments. Yes, to protect those monuments, they're trying to do. When you go to countries like USA, they do not have such ancient history like how India has. They do not have, but still, even a small piece or a small rock or small what Abraham Lincoln did or Martin Luther King did, this is all recent history only. It doesn't have such ancient history like we Indians have. We Indians have this Indus Valley civilization. All this dates back to thousands of years. Correct. So even then we are very careless in not taking care of our heritage. So please, we should read history with a kind of learning from them. That is very, very important. So I was talking about Akbar's rule. Akbar's rule was very secular. You can see here that slowly he started kind of alliances with all the smaller countries. So these alliances means friendship, like how we have good terms with Bangladesh, good terms with Sri Lanka. So like that, he had good alliances with all the neighboring countries, and few countries, few kingdoms, I should say, few empires readily accepted to be under the rule of Akbar the Great. And many, he had even Hindu ministers who were giving him the advices also. Can you name the religion which he started with? Akbar was, I should say, so secular. He thought that people who are following Hinduism or Islam, he thought that everybody should be under one religion. Can you name that religion? That is one of his, in Akbar's rule, you will, Deen-e-Ilahi is the religion that he has started up. He thought that everybody should be, living according to that. But after Akbar died, that religion also, that, you can say that clan also got, people didn't follow it up so much. So you can see that, see how he defeated the various kings, neighboring kings, and he conquered all those from west Gujarat to the east to Bengal. Everything was under his, and it was well connected to the entire world through the routes, like from I should say Pakistan, then Afghanistan, like that Turkey, and like that people had a route, Egypt and all that. They used to move towards Africa or towards Europe also. So Asia, Africa, Europe were all connected. On the north we have the Himalayas, right? So they were taking route to through Pakistan, Afghanistan, and trade and commerce was at its I should say the peak during Akbar's rule. That's why they call Akbar the Great. So as a celebration of he defeated, when he conquered, Gujarat, he celebrated that victory, and Buland Darwaza. Buland means strong. Darwaza is the gate. So this we can see in Fatehpur Sikri. In Fatehpur Sikri, you also see Ibadat Mahal. In Fatehpur Sikri, anybody who has visited Delhi, I think so, Sneha must be, Sneha is here? Sneha must have visited Fatehpur Sikri, Agra, and all these places. She's in Delhi, Sneha. So, Ibadat Mahal also you will find in Fatehpur Sikri. Ibadat Mahal is where he used to call all the religious leaders, and he used to have kind of meetings with all of them. When you see visit Red Fort, when you see Qutub Minar, you will see all these places like Taj Mahal and all these places. You will see how those kings have ruled the country, how they have established their, how they were conducting, how their courts were, and how they used to run, how the ministers used to sit in the palace, in the court of the king, and how it used to be done. We can see. So what are the places that that he has conquered is from Kabul, Kandahar. Kabul is Afghanistan. Kandahar, all these places he has done it. So they have entered from Afghanistan itself. So how was the society over there? This is Diwan. Wazir means it's minister. The general is called as Mir Bakshi, right? And so here the thing was, the Qazi is the one who was Qazi, Kotwal. These are the different ranks in that kingdom, right? And the head clerks and all of them were giving like that. And Deen Ilahi I have told you, and about several Rajput leaders also were very much in alliance with Akbar, and he had good ministers also. Among them was, one of them was Birbal. Yes, and the major success of this particular Akbar's regime is that he used to see the produce of the farmers. The farmers, their produce, they used to sell in the markets called as mandis. Even now we call sabji mandi, right? So that mandi word came from there. So there, and the taxes they used to collect also from all the peasants, from the farmers. That was very much like, no, trade and commerce was at its peak. The people could sell their produce at a good profit. People from all over, like, no, Iran, Afghanistan, all those places also, people used to come and take the produce, our textiles, our all the not only farmers, everybody was the whole country was at its best, I should say. So, and he has a strong army also. So that is how he could have conquer all the neighboring empires also, neighboring kings also he used to do. So revenue minister, revenue system, I have told you, like this one Hindu minister Todarmal was also there. In those days we were using the copper coins. Like it was not it was partially barter system also, but copper coins. Each ruler they have their own different coins which were minted. So here also copper coins were used. So I was telling you that the peasants used to enter the market, sell their produce also, in the markets. So there were money lenders, like if you want to start your own business or you want initial investments, The money lenders were there, and huge economic expansion was there in this particular rule. Coinage, I have told you, this coins used to be minted during this time. Now, yeah. So as I have told you, sectarian state means he was very much like, no, each one of you can follow your own religion. Whereas when you have seen Lodi dynasty or Khilji dynasty, yeah, or you can say Tughlaq, all these people tried to invade all our temples. You can see that those temples, see, Hinduism, according to Hinduism, what the Hindu kings have done is they kept large amounts of gold, silver, diamonds, precious stones. All of them they used to keep under the idol of the god, under the god's idol in the temple. They used to preserve all the things, right? So these Muslim invaders who knew that these are the places, if we invade these things first, yeah, we can definitely become very rich. They used to be fond of that. So that several times, most of the temples you can see are like no totally like no destructed, I should say. That was it. But I was talking to you about this Ibadat Khana also, where he had his famous religious assembly he was having, and this divine faith, the new religion he started is Deen-e-Ilahi, the divine faith. So in Muslims you have Sufis and Sunnis. So he had modeled this with the help of the Sufis, right? Yeah. So but it didn't exist after the death of Akbar. This that religion or that new faith didn't slowly started dissociating. So I should say the architecture, everything was at its peak during the Akbar's regime. Okay. So now next comes Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and then Aurangzeb. So here you can see Jahangir, as soon as he became, he had a rebellion. Means they used to form small groups, like how you must be seeing in the local in the present day situation also. If suppose totally the Congress comes up, the total majority they get in the parliament, yes, they'll be able to rule the government. They will be able to rule the country in a proper way. Suppose one particular, we have multi-party system, right? So one particular party won't get the full majority. Then what happens if there are 3 or 4 different parties? 2 or 3 of them will combine together and start running the government. Among them, they will pick up the largest party which is there. From among them, they will they will elect their chief as the prime minister, and they will be ruling the country. But what happens when these small groups are there? Always there will be internal clashes among the government, in the government ruling which is happening, and then it will not be that stable. In the same way, if the ruler is not very powerful, and what you need to, when you read history, what you will understand is that few kings were very responsible. They were taking care of their countrymen, their people as their own children. King is treated as the father, as God. Yes, like that they used to treat the king. But few kings were luxury oriented. They were all enjoying the luxuries of of the palaces, and they never used to bother about the people's problems. So in such cases, as long as that king lives, maybe for 20 years, 30 years he rules, 40 years he rules, during that time people will always be in trouble. But here, present day situation, thank God we are not in a situation like that. These are the leaders who are ruling, are elected by the people itself. So you don't like, If the person is not the person whom you have elected, yeah, is not performing properly, prime minister is accountable, right? If he is not performing properly, immediately the government can fall down, people can rebel against them, and they can elect a new person who is more responsible. So it was not like that in those days, I should say. So every time these kings, like you can see, even when Jahangir was there, Shah Abbas, he's a very Safavid dynasty. He's a popular king from Iran. So he attacked. So all the time the military forces should be at its should be very, very alert. So all these kings had this kind of secret alliances will be there among the other countries, and they will come up together and try to have a conquest on you. So always these people should be the leader, the king is little like I should say, he's not very strong, the leadership is not quite strong. Those empires used to disintegrate, right? So like that it used to be. Everywhere you will see the Rajput kings, Rana Amar Singh, yeah, like that. All the Rajput kings names you will be coming across in this. So now came about the Deccan. Deccan Plateau was ruled by the Nizams, right? So they were also very popular kings. I should say Sri Krishna Devaraya in the south. So these are also dynasties you should learn about, and the Mysore Maharajas. So all these also you should have a clear idea about all this. So in another class I can take up about Sri Krishna Devaraya and about the Nizams also. So the Marathas, the Maratha kings, all this happened before, I should say, before all these Portuguese and English, French, all these troops came to Spanish. All these troops came to India for business. They came for business. They set up their own companies over here. They came up as East India Company. Britishers came as East India Company. So they came for trade and commerce, and they started taking control over the country, and the total country went into the hands of East India Company. So these kings were there only before the British rule, right? So we need to have a clear idea about it. After 1857 revolt, we have done it, how the great leaders have taken up. We learnt about Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, all these freedom fighters also we have studied about. I think so now we should move ahead, move back in history. So today we are learning about Mughals. We will learn about the other important dynasties also. So after giving you a brief about these dynasties, then I will give you how it is going to appear in the examinations. Like we will solve questions which came up from Mughal dynasty or about the Indian history, how it has come up. We will do those questions. So Khurram is the name of Shah Jahan. Later he was named as Shah Jahan when he became the king. You can see you in this was what I was trying to tell you people. See, when he became the king, he assumed the title Shah Jahan, and his Shahrir, his younger brother, who was the only surviving brother, he contested for the throne. He said that I will also, why don't I become the king, right? So he was soon blinded and imprisoned. See, Shah Jahan built all the country's money, the revenues all went into the construction of Taj Mahal. The government treasury, the king's treasury became like empty. So at that time, because he was totally concentrating on the construction of Taj Mahal only, he didn't take care of the other things, welfare of the people, correct? Like Akbar. So the country was in problem. regarding finances. So here you can see how they were killing or trying to blind or imprison a person whom you feel is a threat for your throne, right? So he has taken the help of Asaf Khan, father-in-law, that is Mumtaz Mahal's father, and slew all other royal princes also. So you are other princes who are whom you feel are a threat also were killed, right? So this was what we can see in history. We should then came after Shah Jahan. I told you the treasury was completely nil, empty. So at that time, among Shah Jahan, the eldest son, he thought that he would succeed after Shah Jahan. Yeah, eldest son's name is Dara Sheikh. He was supposed to rule the country, but other sons, Shujit, Aurangzeb, and Murad, these people also tried to become king. And out of them, who succeeded? Aurangzeb succeeded. That is how in the dynasty we see after Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. And what he did? He imprisoned his own father. He said that you wasted all the money, you have not utilized it properly. So he was imprisoned. And Shah Jahan, when you visit Agra, when you visit Taj Mahal, far away they'll show you a prison of Shah Jahan also, from where he always used to see, from the window of that prison, he used to see this Taj Mahal from there. Yes, and he had already, while constructing it only, along with Mumtaz Mahal, he kept a tomb vacant over there. He said that when I die, I should be put up over there along with Mumtaz Mahal. So he died in 1666, and Aurangzeb has ruled over the country. Yeah, from 1658 to 1707. There was, after the Aurangzeb was a very cruel king, I should say, because the leadership, he was powerful, but he was not just, I should say. So slowly after Aurangzeb, the Mughal dynasty started deteriorating. So the last king is Bahadur Shah Zafar. Bahadur Shah Zafar. He succeeded among the three sons of Aurangzeb. So this is about the history of Mughal Empire, Mughal dynasty. So what we need to do is, what are the important monuments which are there related to Mughal dynasty? Red Fort, Taj Mahal, yeah, Fatehpur Sikri, Ibadat Mahal, all these you have to write down. Then what are their significances? How is Red Fort built? I think so in one of the classes we have learned, no? It is made with red stone. How is Taj Mahal made? What is the kind of architecture? Mughal architecture, I can say it is Persian, yeah, Persian and Indian together. That is the style of architecture in Mughal dynasty. So each of the dynasties, those constructions which are there, the monuments which are there, what is the style of construction? When you go to Tanjavur, when you go to Tamil Nadu, Chola kings and all these have ruled, ruled Pallavas, Cholas have ruled Tamil Nadu. Their style of construction of temples you can see. So each one had their own, unique way. So India is a diverse country where you will find so many different styles of architecture. So, and what do you feel, children here? All of them are foreigners who came to India. They liked the country so much, they made it their own homeland. You can see Mughals also came from Afghanistan, came from those places. Yeah, through Pakistan, they entered our country, right? And tried, but they stayed over here. They adapted themselves to the country. They liked the resources of the country. And people also, very readily agreed, to their style of ruling. right? So all these people, all these foreigners, you can see Alexander also, who came all the way, yeah, to see India. You can see Columbus. Columbus discovered, he wanted to come to India. Yeah, he wanted to come to India. What happened? He went to Africa, right? He thought that that is India, correct? So several sailors, you should say, after the 17th century, several sailors tried to find a sea route to India. They have reached the, yeah, banks, or I should say the ports on the left hand side, that is in the Arabian Sea, where now we see Goa, we see Kerala, we see yeah, Mumbai, all this, that line, Arabian Sea, they have approached. They approached, and they have readily yeah, brought in a lot of trade and commerce for us. They did a lot of businesses. They liked the spices, our textiles, all these. They have they, all those, like they have taken it to their countries. There was a lot of exchange, like how we have yeah, presently all over the world, the products which are made, you can buy here in India, right? Yesterday, one of the students was talking about PV Narasimha Rao's regime, right? So over there, at that time, this liberalization, yeah, happened. We started, previously we were not able to buy Nike, Adidas, all these company shoes. If you want to buy shoes, or like foreign companies products, if you want to buy, somebody goes to US or Europe, yeah, then they have to get it, buy it over there, yeah. And for few commodities, you have to, for few products, you have to pay the import tax, and then only you have to bring it to the country, and you have to gift it to your friends. So if somebody is coming from abroad, you were asking them to get all those. But all those chocolates, all those products which are available in US, now it's available in India also. IKEA, the great stores are also there in India now. Yeah. And one more thing I would like to bring it to your notice, that recently, after this liberalization, after our finance system, our economic yeah, transformation happened with under the regime of PV Narasimha Rao. What happened? Suddenly, do you understand why suddenly, like, all our Indian women became Miss Universe and Miss World, and suddenly why? Because if our yeah, that is the, yeah, strategy behind it. So when one of our Indian women becomes the Miss Universe or Miss World, what happens? If they will yeah, advertise, like LNG products, like there are Nestle products, there are so many foreign companies products which are there. Yeah, cosmetics, it can be cosmetics, it can be food, it can be chocolates, it can be beverages. Yeah, all these have great demand, and we are the second largest country in the population, correct? So when we start buying, it will be like, no, a lot of business for those companies. So to promote all that, yeah, suddenly, yeah, Indians have become the top class. Now you can see most of the huge companies, CEOs are Indians. Why? Because they know how we are rich in our human resources. Yeah, the kind of work, all the projects, Padma must be knowing all the projects across. Yeah, you are doing it over from here, correct? So to get it done in those countries is very costly. Here, human resources are cheap, correct? So we work for all the, yeah, different companies across the world, especially USA. Especially USA, when it comes to software, everything is like, backup is from India itself. Yes or no, Padma? You can tell more about this. Yeah, about these projects, how you get the, yeah, software done, and here people
Indians
is
are the cheap
logging.
labor.
Yeah.
Indians are the cheap labor.
Ah, cheap labor, yes. So you pay minimum, you get the work done. And that's why they are giving all the outsourcing of their projects. right? Over there, if
Okay.
this work has to be done per hour, they have to pay some $15, $10, $20. So based on that, they have to do. Here you give a nominal salary, very happily they will do it, isn't it? So that's the reason. That's about the history lesson that we have learned today. Please join again, children. Today we will, this meeting will end. We'll continue another topic. Please join again.